Wasn't expecting to be here so soon. Welcome to Limbus Company, I guess. I guess I'll start this with the preamble. For people that were, I guess I'll start with the people that have been here since Ruina. Yeah, I was not expecting to do this just yet. The original game we were doing kind of fell through, and this just so happened to slot in perfectly. So, unlike my Ruina and Lobco playthrough, this is being recorded as of 11/27, and hopefully it should be up same day. No weird like 1 month disconnect. This is right here, right now. Maybe tomorrow. It might depend. It depends on how busy I am after streams. You know how it is with uploading things. But yeah, I'm mainly doing this now because it's not only convenient, but also Limbus Company is gotcha garbage, and this is a very convenient way for people to, you know, experience the game without needing to play some garbage. I mean, I like the game, but like, this is in spite of its, we'll say, features, and not because of them. For people who are in the know, why yes, this is 192 Mobius clear. No, I don't care that it's so high. I did it once first try and never did it again. Hello! What's up? I think that's my preamble out of the way, though. Yeah. And I've, specific... Don't look at the screen. Luckily, we'll also scroll away from there. Luckily, Limbus Company is a game where it doesn't matter how far on into the franchise and gameplay experience that I am, I can replay all of it just like that. Welcome, Pac-Man dude from YouTube. I do know who you're talking about. As I was just going on the preamble, this was not what we were meant to be streaming today, but it was conveniently slotted in. And so, even though I'm caught up. We'll say that right now my account, for lack of a better term, is 100% completed. Limbus is a very convenient game, and I can click this little button. In a black, dusky forest, I lost the way. We can just play the game from start to finish, not missing anything. And it's way more convenient this way because there's no fucking way I'm making a new account. This is a gacha game. You can kind of imagine the... Literally, we'll come over here. This one... Oh, shit. Maybe none of the tutorials do it. But you see how this is a -0? This is my daily energy. 139. I am a level 68 account, which is pretty high. It's not like grindy tier, it's not like whale tier, but this is like a I've been doing this every day since the game came out kind of tier, you know what I mean? And current, and if this is -5, that's out of this resource. If this hits 0, I can't play the game anymore. And that's why I'm streaming it, so people don't have to deal with this shit. Anyway. Let's play some video games, huh? I will forewarn, though, because I immediately stopped that. So, because this game is still coming out as of recording, and the fact that this is actually going to be uploaded, hopefully same day, or if not, at least tomorrow, I can actually talk about theories as this game is going on. So I'm gonna give a little bit of context for the people at home who haven't, let's say, experienced any of the wider material of these games, because this isn't just 3 games. There's Lobotomy Corporation, Library of Ruina, Limbus Company, but there's also Wonderlab, the webcomic, which is now debatably uncanon, despite some aspects of it still appearing. We're unsure how it's going to tie into the greater narrative. Distortion Detective, which is a web novel. Actually, no, I think Distortion Detective started off as a manga and became a web novel. Then there's Leviathan, which is a novel. All 3 of those got ended. And I think that's it, actually. So yeah, there's effectively three novels to tie into this game. anything that comes from those, I'll just let the people know so you don't have to worry about it. I'd recommend them. Wonder Lab, I'd probably recommend the least, because other than the very ending, it's mid as fuck. But it introduces some concepts that I will cover as we go along. Because this is the first game that doesn't, like... This is the first game that draws from outside material. Anyway. This is after Ruina. So if you watched all of the Ruina VODs, this is after the end of that. Oh, this is not actually the cutscene. That's not right. No, stop that. No, I need the cutscene. It's cutting into gameplay. There's meant to be an opening cutscene. That's not right. How do I make the opening play? Whoa. That's not right. But yes, this takes place... We don't know exactly when, obviously, you know. No, I don't want to spoil anything, but I believe this takes place after Ruina. Ignore this. I'm trying to... How do I... Make... Go. Hey, there we are. Aha, here we go. This should be it. There we go. So I will cover everything.
이제 알았어? 뛰어봤자 벼룩이라는 걸.
엄밀히 따져보면 스승님이 하려는 게 도시의 금기는 아니더라. 아무도 시도할 생각조차 못했던 그런 일이라고 해야 하나? 어라? 근데 이 녀석...
그 사이에 머리를 갈아 끼웠군. 원래 당신 같은 자들은 준비성조차 철저한가?
So, first thing that I have to bring up that's just gonna immediately tear us out of this. This is our first theory we're gonna come across. This guy, the dude named Panther, bears a striking resemblance to Pete, the rat from the very beginning of Library of Ruina, to the point where he has the same voice actor. We don't know if this is him, but maybe. That's our first theory. No proof? Maybe.
아무래도 저 대가리엔 입까지는 없는 모양인데?
째깍거리는 소리만 들리네. 속에서는 비명이라도 지르는 걸까? 째깍대는 소리가 빨라지는 걸 보니 아파하기는 하나 봐. 뭐야, 이젠 잠잠하네. 그럼 슬슬 끝내자.
늑대, 여긴 누구도 오지 않고 누구도 볼 수 없는 곳이야. 뭐가 그리 급해?
우린 가르침을 따라야 해. 시간을 끌어서는 안 되니까.
그렇지만... 우리가 살면서 언제 이런 녀석을 죽여보겠어?
사자, 너는 일을 할 때 너무 감정적이야. 공과 사는 구분하면 좋겠군. 얼굴을 보고 싶었는데 아쉽게 됐어. 당신의 별이 어디 있는지는 알려주지 않겠지. 그렇군. 입이 없었지. 자연히 그것을 찾을 방법도 이자에게선 얻을 수 없겠군.
그럼 이제 끝내도 돼?
그래.
이거 무슨 소리야? 표범, 설마 뒤에다가 추적자들을 달고 온 거야?
아니, 쫓아올 자는 아무도 없었어. 짐승일 확률은?
짐승 소리가 아니야. 이건 버스.
저런 게 어떻게 여기까지 굴러들어왔지?
조난당한 버스인가 본데? 길을 잘못 든 죗값은 생각보다 무거울 테.
사자가 밀린 거야? 여전히 내 눈이 틀림없다면 당신은 영광의 항구에 이르겠지. 어두운 숲에서 길을 잃었군요. 하지만 당신은 두렵지 않았어요. 왜일까요? 그래요. 이제 그 형상을 되뇌면서 제가 하는 말을 마음으로 외치세요. 너의 별을 따라가거라. 걱정하지 마세요. 정말로 심장을 못 쓰게 된 게 아니니까. 이것으로 계약은 완료되었습니다. 단테, 이제 저희는 당신의 시간에 귀속되었습니다. 이제 저희의 심장이 멎고 뛰면 당신의 시각이 어디 위치하는지에 따라 달렸습니다. 잘 부탁드려요.
정말 이걸로 된 건가요?
사과 한 알이 떨어졌소.
이 사람은 아직도 이상한 소리만 하네.
찌뿌둥해. 이제 움직여도 되는 거지?
뭐 몸을 풀어보는 것도 나쁘진 않겠지.
불쌍하게 나뒹굴고 있는 저것은 뭐지? 우리의 마지막 대원이 될 자인가?
말 조심하는 게 좋을걸? 우리 상사가 될 뿐이래.
습격은 순식간이었을 텐데 용케 머리를 숨겼군요. 우리는 당신을 돕기 위해 찾아온 정의의 사자들이고, 이건 원하는 곳은 어디든 갈 수 있는 마술 버스죠. 그런 대답을 바라는 거 아니었어요? 그렇게 생각하는 쪽이 마음 편할 테니. 시간도 없고 유리한 상황도 아니니까 천천히, 하지만 한 번만 설명하죠. 맞아요. 당신이 올바르게 명령을 내린다면요. 진정해요. 그 머리로 기억이 온전할 리가. 지금은 눈앞에 놓인 전투에 집중하죠, 단테.
뭐라고 불러야 할지. 시계 지휘관님? 아무튼 전투 명령을 내려주십시오.
뭘 명령까지야. 각개전투밖에 답이 없지 않나?
저기요!
뭘 쑥덕대고 있는 거야? 다 으스러뜨리면 그만이잖아.
최선을 다해주세요, 단테.
So, do you have any questions? You actually did, like, right as I got started. So, for context, I'll also give out... I'll just randomly be streaming this whenever new content comes out. So this won't be just like a one-and-done playthrough. Like, okay... content for this game comes out every, like, 4 months. So... It's gonna be a bit more involved of a playthrough. This is gonna take a while. But... Anyway, so immediately after that cutscene, we would have kicked off to here. And that would have been that. So, no, I won't answer any questions. It just immediately cut into combat. Allow me to show you the basics of management and command. You can give orders to the sinners by connecting, chaining skills on the dashboard at the bottom of the screen. Try pressing the gear on the left. From here, chaining the skills all the way to the gear on the right. Boop, 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 boop. After you have formed a chain of skills, press the right gear to begin combat.
행동을 개시합니다.
It's resembling Runa, isn't it? There will be subtle differences that I'll... Well, there's subtle differences that I'll get into once, you know, this admittedly kind of bad tutorial is out of the way. Unlike, like similar to Runa, there are so many features and systems and mechanics that they just don't tell you about. Anyway, it appears we need a powerful attack. Let's form the proper chain for it. What does it want? How would this be a powerful... Sure, you know what? I'll just... By chaining 2 or more skills of the same affinity this turn, you will cause resonance. Resonance boosts the damage of skills of the same sin affinity. Their color, in other words. The power of each skill is boosted by the number of skills that come before it. It is weird that this is the first thing it teaches you, when resonance is a pretty unimportant system. Like, I will admit, this game is just like Runa. There are so many systems that, like, I can't even begin to cover just yet, because it hasn't even started. But they start with a resonance tutorial that, very little, I'll put it that way. And this is a 2 resonance. It's a gluttony resonance, which is nothing. Oh, we need a powerful attack here, and I lose. All of this is canned. Like, that's why there's no numbers. It's just happening. Everything in the tutorial will happen on its own, you know? And despite the fact that, we need a strong attack, we're still losing every clash. Good, look at him, Faust. Wasn't enough. We must strike them even harder. Try chaining our skills again. Oh, get 3 this time. Oh, that'll make so much of a difference. It really is. This is like trying to do the mobile game thing of, oh, you match colors, or playing Bejeweled or something like that. It doesn't matter. Just like in Runa, like, what skills you use is what's important, not what color they are. This would be like saying your damage type is more important than the card you're playing. This is like saying, yeah, I get it. It's an urban legend tier card, but it does pierce damage when you're sitting out here having, like, the Red Mists page and all of her cards. But they're like, but that does slashing damage. That doesn't matter. As we just covered, chaining 3 or more skills of the same affinity in succession causes absolute resonance. Every skill under absolute resonance receives a power boost based on their total number. Likewise, the boost especially shines with more resonating skills. So, effectively, yes. If you have 2 skills, they get stronger. If you have 3 skills, they get stronger-er. And by stronger-er, 1. I don't know, no context. It gets 1 stronger. 1 number. What does that mean? 1. You'll find out after this game finally starts telling us things. Also, fun thing to note, we are fighting 1 person. None of the other 2 members of combat are joining in. They have unknown HP, and despite the fact that I'm hitting them, their HP bar is not visibly moving. You will find the yellow stagger threshold on the health bar for both your sinners and enemies. When an attack puts an enemy's unit's HP below one of the yellow line thresholds, they become staggered. While staggered, all physical resistance is changed to fatal. If an HP unit drops past multiple stagger thresholds in a single turn, their stagger level will increase. Stagger level will go up to 3, and as it increases, the damage the unit takes is amplified. Well done. You staggered an enemy. Now keep up the fight, now you taught you so far. So it's this right here. You see this little yellow bar on their HP bar? Double stagger. Oh, you can go up to quad stagger. Oh, yeah. So, it's this little yellow bar. We actually don't have any because it's a tutorial. But it's that little yellow bar that's hovering above their HP bar. Works exactly the same as Ruina. Instead of there being a stagger system and having stagger damage, it's all directly tied to HP. So there's no more stagger resistant stagger damage. It is instead HP thresholds. So usually, we'll say, for example, it's 25, 50, and 75%. If you hit someone for 25% of their health, they'll get staggered. Then they'll start taking double damage from every damage type in the game. If you get them below 50, they take more. They start taking bonus damage. If you hit the 75%, they start taking even more damage. So if you've staggered someone, like let's say we staggered them here and they have this line down here as well, if I could do so much damage to get them to there in this turn, they would still be double staggered and they would still take the bonus damage. However, stagger states do not stack their stun effect. So for example, if I stagger this guy and get him below this threshold, next turn he's able to act again. You cannot stagger someone in the middle of being staggered, for example. Like, you get one stun, but you will get more damage, for example. Yeah, that one, sure.
간다.
3 damage. 1 damage. 1 damage. Ooh, 1 damage twice. Bat. He just smacked him with a book. Alright, that went well. Alright, now that we're seeing how well that's going, here, let's match some colors. Here's green, or gluttony. Here's cyan, or gloom. We'll do another gloom, why not? And then dark blue, or pride. Yes, all of the colors are based off of a sin. Red is wrath, green is gluttony, cyan is gloom. I know gloom is not a sin. Ignore that. Oh, they're playing the game. There it goes. I know, right? The other allies have started playing the game. Oh, Pete just one-rounded orange-haired lady. Oh, that's unfortunate. And I immediately die. Do you ever have your forced lost battle be the tutorial? Oh. Isn't that fun? Now, hopefully, I should be able to just keep, like, advancing down the nodes and all the cutscenes should, like, autoplay. Should have done better. Make it a forced win. You're right. I'm sorry. When I awoke... Oh, don't worry about that. Well, ignore that. It's not important. Skill issue? Yeah. Literally, in this case. No. Okay, so it's not auto-playing the cuts. Fuck off. So it's not auto-playing the cuts. It's supposed to. How weird that it's not. Okay, it's just giving me more tutorials. Okay, I guess I'm gonna have to go to the theater after each of these. How strange. Huh. Well. Like, I guess that's because we're in tutorial town. Things are weird. Whatever. We'll get the knowledge across at the end of the day anyway. Here, let me fucking... Okay. So, okay, it tells me post-battle, and then this one is pre-battle. Alright, so post-battle. This is immediately after we got murdered. Oh, whoops.
이해가 되지 않는군. 이런 것들에게 사자가 당했다고.
잠깐만. 방금까지 싸웠던 사람이 말하긴 그렇지만 이건 대화로 풀 수 있는...
이건 이상적이지 않소.
처음부터 말이 안 되는 싸움이라고 생각했는데.
I will explain that one too. The man named Yi Song just said this is unideal. The word ideal is pronounced Yi Song. He just made a pun about his own name. Carry on. As he's being murdered.
난 시작도.
And now, let's give some greater context. Do you see how they're attacking us with these glowing, like, rings of light? So, this is the first thing that you would only know if you had read Leviathan. In Leviathan, it is the only of the side stories that takes place after Ruina. So for context, in Leviathan, so if you'll remember at the end of Ruina, they started releasing the light, letting the people scatter back out into the world, and finally doing what Ayin had wanted at the end of the game. And they started releasing that light, but they couldn't release all of it, because the head had interrupted and ejected the library to the outskirts. However, enough light was released that the main character of Leviathan learns of the event we will call the end of Ruina, and learns that light has now been made in so much abundance that without any modifiers or workshop tools or stimulating tattoos, that you can amplify yourself. And the way that it was demonstrated was with 2 rings of light surrounding the limb that is being used to attack. So that is a skill that normal people do not know about. Whoever these people are using light against us. And we don't fully know what that means, but it's not good.
이겨준다는 말은 안 했어요.
Shut up, Faust.
그리고 저만 남았네요. 비장의 수라기보단 그저 별을 따라가는 거죠.
단체로 자살놀이라도 하는 건가? 썩 유쾌하진 않군.
I mean, all of them just killed every single member of our team in like 1 attack, maybe 2.
뱀에게 전해라, 거짓 사자. 이건 막을 수 없는 흐름이라고.
Say hello to the main character of Leviathan.
붉은색. 왜?
내가 왜 팔다리만 잘라낸 줄 아나? 그래야 사지 멀쩡한 네가 저들을 데리고 허둥지둥 이곳을 벗어날 테니까. 달아난 팔과 다리를 대체해줄 놈이 너밖에 없으니.
붉은 시선.
그렇게 노려보지 마. 네 놈들이 해놓은 짓에 비하면 별것도 아니잖아. 그 정도 부상이면 위에서도 충분히 할 일 했다고 생각할 거다. 헌장처럼 여기라고. 아니면 여기서 명줄을 놓고 싶은가? 늦은 건 아무것도 없습니다, 단테. 우리에게 필요한 건 오직 되돌릴 시간뿐이니까. 앞으로도 끝내주게 고통스러울 겁니다, 단테.
Yeah, I know there's a bug in the tutorial. That's why I'm not too worried about actually being able to finish some of the fights. They said that they fixed it, but it's unclear. We'll get there. I was gonna address that if that actually came up. But yes. Say hello to the main character of Leviathan, the Red Gaze. Now what could that mean? Oh, isn't that strange? Anyway, carrying on. It's... Ooh.
움찔움찔거려. 일어난 걸까?
드디어 정신을 차렸군. 버티지 못하고 골러갔으면 조금 실망할 뻔했어.
상쾌한 아침. 나는야 버스기사 카런.
아침은 아니지만 상쾌하긴 하겠어. 기분이 어떻습니까, 단테? 째각거리는군. 의사소통이 안 되는 건 제법 곤란한데. 저는 베르길리우스라고 합니다. 이 말이 제대로 들린다면 무언가 이해했다는 행동이라도 취하시죠, 단테.
No.
좋아. 듣는 것엔 문제가
Leviathan is the story
일단
of
출발하지,
Virgilius, whatever. It, like I said, wasn't finished. Leviathan is his backstory. It takes place immediately after Ruina finishes. Like, immediately. But we're unsure of the span of time between Leviathan and now. So it's more of supplementary reading. Like, we'll learn of Virgilius as time goes along, but you effectively, like, Leviathan, now that Limbus has come out, is effectively a flashback arc. We can learn a little bit about him, but we'll learn about him here. He's the only character that directly comes back from Leviathan that matters. That's all you really need to know. Like I said, I'll cover the important details as it comes up. All you really need to know is that Virgilius is a very obviously a color and is the main character of the side story.
출발할게. 부릉부릉.
Notably the same color as the red mist now that she's gone.
당신이 누구였는지는 기억합니까? 원래 기억을 되찾고 싶겠군. 그렇지 않나? 아, 매끄럽군. 다들 이렇게 몸짓으로만 말하면 안 되는 건가? 어떻게 생각하지? 파우스트 씨.
파우스트는 사양하고 싶어요. 저희가 매끄럽게 몸을 움직일 수 있는 상황이 그렇게 많지는 않을 것 같으니까요. 단테. 단테는 당신의 이름이에요. 이름까지 잊으셨군요. 점차 익숙해질 거랍니다. 파우스트에게는 제대로 된 단어로 들린답니다. 그런 구시대적인 발상은 머리를 바꾸어서 생긴 건가요? 성대나 혀 따위의 발성기관이 있어야만 대화를 할 수 있다는 건 시대착오적인 이야기죠. 당신의 말은 한 사람에게만 보낼 수도 있고 모두에게 전달할 수도 있답니다. 모두라는 말은 수정해야겠군요. 수감자들에게만 해당하는 이야기예요. 당신의 뒤에 앉아있는, 방금까지 당신을 대신해서 싸운 사람들을 말하는 겁니다.
그대가 이 여정을 함께할 마지막 조각인가? 얼마나 기다렸는지 모르네.
All right, I'll be able to willing to talk now that I can interrupt the introduction of Worst Girl. very, very funny you bring that up. It was a running joke when I was going through Ruina for the very first time with me and a friend. We kept making up like, where's the green stinky? But if I had to pick a color, it would be white. Because it's the only color not yet represented from Lobco in a current color. We've had vermilion for red, we've had red for red, we've had black for black, we've had purple for black, blue for blue, and then in a very, very deep-cut line of dialogue, we also have the word pale. There is another color that is mentioned in Ruina, the Pale Quillin. But we have no idea who this person is. But they're also blue. White is the only color remaining that has not yet been addressed. And thus far, every color we've seen has continued on with the theme of the 4 damage types being represented in color entities. So, I'm interested to see if there will ever be a white and what it would be. Anyway, time for Worst Girl.
형씨.
Not him.
머리 돈 어디다가 팔아넘겼어?
당신이었군요. 당신 덕에 박살나 있던 척추가 말끔하게 돌아왔어요. 혹시 둥지에서 의사 일이라도 했나요?
다들 닥쳐라. 잡음이 겹치는 것만큼 불쾌한 것도 없으니 자기 소개가 필요한 시점인가 보군. 그럼 가벼운 인사를 나눌 시간을 주겠다. 앞에 앉은 것부터 시작.
에이, 왜 이런 건 항상 앞자리부터인지. 앞에 나서는 건 이제 진절머리가 나는데. 당신이 우리를 이끌... 뭐더라? 관리자라고 하던데. 그래. 그래서 어떤 인물인지 굉장히 궁금했는데 말이야. 역시 뭔가 말을 만드는 건 어려워. 머리통은 어디 팔아먹었는지 모르겠지만 저마다 사정은 있는 법이니까. 나는 그레고르라고 한다. 잘 부탁한다고, 관리자 양반.
Gregor. This sinner is relatively easy to handle in terms of personality. However, an upsurge of emotion or sudden change of environment may cause parts of... Shit! Is it gonna do that? Alright, I'll have to main...
이제부터
Can I go back to
우리한테
that?
엄청난 돈을 가져다 줄 사람한테.
Ignore that. I'll see if that will go automatically or I'll be able to actually read that out. I was gonna actually cover that. Anyway, let's go over... I'll actually go over them. Gregor. Gregor is based off the main character from Franz Kafka's Metamorphosis, which is why, if you've noticed, his arm is a cockroach. Rodion.
그래?
Look at this. Notice the arm?
양반보다는 단테. 이름으로 부를게. 당신도
I
나를
was gonna
로사라고
cover
불러.
that. I was gonna cover that a little bit later. But yes, the order of characters we're being introduced to is actually the order of character chapters we're going through. So the first chapter we're going to enter is Gregor's chapter. We're going to learn about him. Then Rodion, then whoever's next. This order will matter. So it goes Gregor, Rodion, and we'll see. The unfortunate traits of being a backstreet born are apparent in the sinner. She loves money, gambling, and bet, so it is advised to pay close attention to her as the manager. She tends to deflect orders with an unimpressive wink or a silly joke. We recommend taking a stern stance at times to remind her that you are her superior. Her mood may be down at irregular intervals. There's nothing you can do to aid her in that state. We recommend waiting for it to pass. Rodion is based, and you can actually see the original language the book is from. She is from a Russian book that I do not remember what it's called. So in the book, it's all about, Rodion's one of the ones I remember the least. Okay, Rodion's book is about a man who kills a rich lady to take her money and, like, gives it away to the poor, but then feels really guilty about it. I'm forgetting the exact specifics. Rodion used to be a man. Obviously, these are meant to be an inspiration and not directly the character. That's what happens in the book. I don't think I need to explain. I guess I'll explain Kafka's metamorphosis for people. Gregor is a man who, throughout some higgledy-piggledy bullshit, is turned into a cockroach. Slowly and surely in his bed, he becomes more and more of an actual cockroach and requires his family to take care of him. And he becomes an increasing burden on his family as his body is changing without his control. So I don't want to give into all the details, but that's a brief summary of Metamorphosis. A very, very brief summary.
관리자가 된대. 이유가 있다고 믿어.
Unironically, if you want homework, you can go read the source material books and they will tell you roughly what may happen in their chapters. It's great.
분명 원래는
I
둥지에
loved it. It
굉장한
was such a,
사람이었겠지.
like, when there were trailers for this game
그때
coming
버릇을
out, that was like the
조금만
one thing
내비쳐도
people did. It was
우리한테
hype as
돈이
fuck.
주르륵 들어올 생각을 하니?
Oh, stop talking over the movie.
아차, 내 정신 좀 봐. 예, 다음은 네 차례야.
안녕하세요.
아, 시시해. 그게 끝이야?
싱클레어라고 해요.
Fun fact, Sinclair was like my favorite character going through, like when I first started going before any of the chapters, this dude was like top 3. I'll give a tier list at the end. Even with the volatile fun final thing about Rodion before I move on to Sinclair. Sinclair. So you know how there was the line of dialogue saying she has mood swings and may randomly become negative? You guys won't have any context for this, but I will say this. Rodion was originally going to be a way more interesting ID. Rodion, originally from her passive and Ego's passive, was meant to be able to benefit from being a negative sanity ID. She was originally meant to have positives for being at high sanity, as well as positives for being at low sanity. She was an extremely weird unit, but they like canned that and they'd like changed that. She was gonna be extremely odd of a unit. No one of you have any idea what I'm talking about because we haven't gotten to that part of this, but whatever. We'll worry about it later. Even with the volatile nature of human growth around his age taken into consideration, this sinner seems to get particularly startled and frowned when spoken to. He isn't used to real combat at the moment, meaning that he may struggle to keep himself together at the sight of something as mild as split innards at first. As there may be those with violent tendencies among your crew, we recommend taking an approach focused on positive reinforcement with this sinner. He appears to possess a murderous gaze that he himself isn't aware of. This is a hopeful sign that he has potential to grow into an expert of our company's profession with the right stimuli. Sinclair... God, this it's the early on characters. I never remember their fucking books well enough. I don't even remember. I think this dude's German. Yeah, this is from a German book. Which, fuck, like I think he's the one that I know like the least about. Because like of the ones whose chapters have already gone by, I didn't bother to research them. You know, because when the game came out, there was 3 chapters, and I'm like, fuck it, I don't need to worry about anymore. He's a kid who's in bad with a lady, and then another guy helps him break away from the lady. I don't fucking know beyond that. Like, kid's a nice kid, gets in with the wrong crowd, and another guy helps him out of that situation. Like, I don't want to give away names because, you know, who knows?
더 해야 할 말이 있나요? 회사는 처음이라.
뭐 앞으로 남은 날은 많을 테니까. 그럼 거기 괴짜 친구가 다음 타자하자.
이상이라 하오.
Best guy. Formerly the youngest chief researcher at the Redacted Wing, the Sinner possesses higher intelligence compared to most others. We estimate that everyday conversations with the Sinner will prove difficult for managers selected by our current screening process. Avoid communication altogether will pose a risk of its own, however. If the Sinner remains silent for a long time, this means he's currently processing a line of deliberate thought. We recommend waiting patiently for him. Yi Song is from a Chinese book that is easily the most confusing book of them all. It is a book that is also the shortest. It is a book that has no written, like, spoken line of dialogue that is extremely... Maybe he's Korean. I actually don't remember if he's Chinese or Korean. I would assume Korean, actually, now that I think about it, because of some of the factoids I know about it. It is an extremely obtuse book with multiple layers of reference and interpretation. It's one of those, like, you can analyze it for 100 years and, like, not get it type of books. What matters is that Yi Song is a man who is, I guess I would say, depressed. He's a man with no drive in life. In the book, he finds himself languishing away each and every day, either sitting around in his room or staring out of the window. He finds out that as he's languishing, his wife is just giving him money and feeding him and, you know, bringing him food, as he cannot actually get himself to, you know, take care of himself. And then in the book, he finds himself wondering how his wife is able to keep affording to pay for both of them, as he finds that she has been inviting strange men over multiple times. And the book ends by her feeding him, and the food that he eats is poison. And it ends with him staring longingly outside, dying. And there's many, many layers of symbolism. Like I said, there's not a single line of spoken dialogue. A lot of the book is related to the author. It's a very interpretive book as to what it means. A lot of it's based on Korean's culture at the time and what was going on in the worldwide political scape. Very strange book. Very difficult to, like, convey, especially through translation. No, I did not research his the most because he is my favorite character. We don't talk about it. We're not there yet.
답답하네요. 사회생활의 첫걸음은 인사잖아요.
And for the people at home who don't know yet, say hello to our current arc, which, yes, Limbus Company has been out for like a year, some such, however long time works, and we're only at, like, chapter 5, which is Ishmael's chapter. Okay, it's Ishmael, come on. Who doesn't know Ishmael? You know, Moby Dick? Do I need to explain this one? It's notable that it's not Ahab. It's Ishmael, who is the perspective character of Moby Dick, but just does not matter. Is, like, never relevant in the book. And Ishmael isn't even the book's character's real name. They matter so little, no one in the book asks Ishmael their real name. Moby's a fucking dick. But we'll worry about that later. It's interesting as to why they picked Ishmael and not, like, you know, Ahab, but we'll worry about that when we get to her chapter. Well, as the sole survivor, you know, maybe. We'll worry about that later. Maybe disheartened by the defective state of many of your sinners, but do not worry. This sinner is one of the few who can carry out most missions without much complaint. She is likely to make reasonable judgments, so it's a good idea to start conversations while looking her way or seeking sound advice. However, you mustn't forget, the sinner has survived an absurd voyage in a far and wide body of water. Her patience may run deep, but once you take a wrong turn with her, it will be a difficult task to regain her trust. Yeah, don't worry about it.
당신
No
덕택에
spoilers,
동강난
people.
몸이 돌아왔다고
Get there when
들었어요.
we get there.
앞으로도 잘
This is also
부탁해요.
for people at home too who haven't played the game, a la Lag, who is somewhere lurking in the viewer chat. I'm just giving a forewarning because apparently, fucking everybody here has already played the damn game. Thank you, Leg.
미안하게 됐네.
And now the real best character.
히스클리프. 멋대로 부수고 깨부수는 일은
Oh
전문으로
shit, you're
하고
cooler
다녔지.
than me. Alright, fair enough. Heathcliff. The sinner prefers to take action rather than wait for logic to dictate his course. His thoughts and feelings are blatantly visible in his demeanor, and he has no intention of hiding them. His brashness may cause headaches or physical injury leading to a headache in the process of forming a relationship. Please do note that this is not an indication of serious damage to the sinner's thought process. If his fits of rage persist, please contact Human Resource Department. Once you realize he's the type that tends to be simple-minded, you'll have an easier time handling him. Heathcliff, I again do not remember the name of his book. Best character. His is a story that I'm gonna be getting some details wrong. So, if I remember correctly, Heathcliff's book is he's a part of a noble family and he gets like an engagement to another noble family. I think he's in love with someone in particular. He's not allowed to marry that person and is instead like giving a arranged marriage. That's it. I think okay, so he's in an arranged marriage because it's meant to tie two families together. Then I think he wants to break off the marriage to get with the person he likes. I think everyone involved says no. I'm definitely going to be getting some details wrong about, like, all of this. And he gets so fucking pissed he murders just every single member of the families. Something. It happens somewhere. I know there's a lot of murder involved. He kills a lot of people. Maybe the details of that one are a little bit off, but general detail, he loves a person, something bad happens, so he just fucking starts killing people. And the book ends with him, you know, being the sole survivor of the house, being all sad and shit. I don't remember. Fuck it. Books, I don't read them.
누가 시켜서가 아니라 거슬리는 것들에게 하고
Less that I don't read them, it's that my memory is awful. Oh, Jesus.
당신도 조심하라고.
It's enough of a summary for you to be able to understand and get like a gleaming of what'll be happening. He literally has revenge written on his back.
나는 윗사람이라고 거들먹거리는 사람한테.
Also, he's like British. Cockney. 10 out of 10. He gets haunted by... I don't fucking remember. It was many years ago I read any of this shit. Worst character. Unironically. Actively the worst character in this fucking game. It's Don Quixote. Who the fuck does not know who Don Quixote is? A lot of people haven't read their book. The worst character. Thank you, Rabius. MVP. Modded. Made new stream owner. Worst character. Alright. There's no sinner who can outmatch this one's level of passion if we were to measure it. An avid aficionado for all things fixer, she adorns herself with a variety of fixer-related merchandise. They won't affect her performance in combat one way or another, so there's no need to restrict her from keeping her decorations. She's deeply immersed in the role of a righteous fixer, hence the exaggerated mannerisms akin to those of an actor. Such a thing never existed, really. It is advised to play along with her for a smooth mission. I guess brief summary, because a lot of people haven't actually read Don Quixote's book. all you really need to know is Don Quixote is, just like the descriptor, is a man in, like, the modern-ish age who is in love with the idea of being, like, a noble, a knight, and being, like, a bringer of justice. However, he lives in an era that does not allow for that kind of thing. Also, he's fucking crazy and is suffering from massive delusions. And so he's going around trying to be like a noble knight and, you know, beat up thugs. And he just gets into a lot of fucking hijinks. Like, I think he beats up a woman. You get it. I'm fucking whatever. Don Quixote. Close enough. Garbage tier. Actively the worst party member in the whole franchise. Fucking fight me. However, not to spoil again, but they do seem to be doing interesting things with her, so despite my revilation, I'm interested. Hatred does not necessarily mean disinterest.
나는 가벼운 인사를 나누라고 했던 것 같은데 두 번 말하게 하지 않았으면 좋겠어. 다음.
홍루라고 한답니다. 잘해보자고요, 우리.
There's the Chinese guy. There you go. Sinner who has lived an affluent life before becoming our company's asset. As such, he has a certain admiration for a free life. But occasionally he may make ignorant and unsavory questions in regards to the food cooked by a certain other sinner, or other aspects of the low lives, lowly culture. This can cause significant irritation for the other sinners. However, it is important to note that no sarcastic undertones are contained in his curiosity-driven inquiries, though it is ill-advised to let them get physical. Yeah, Honglu's book is absurdly fucking long. A brief summary, Honglu is... it's Chinese, so you know this shit's gonna be fucking super goddamn long and full of metaphor. Honglu is a, like, earth golem that was created by the gods in the highest realm of existence. And he's like, yeah, life is literally perfect, but I really want to know what it's like down in the mortal realm. So he descends from his godly status, even though he's like a mud golem and it doesn't fucking matter. He's like an earth guy. He descends to the mortal realm, just fucks around for a while, and is like, man, I respect life more, but this sucks. Close enough. And then I think he can't go back because, you know, he's descended. Yeah, I don't remember. Fuck the ending. I didn't get that far. I don't give a shit. Fucking. Oh, that book. I'm interested to see his storyline though, because like he's, you know, obviously affluence descending down and looking upon with like, oh yes, oh this is a fine little crunchy kind of character, as he's like, man, look at all these fucking peasants.
제 취향은 아니지만.
저건 무슨 말싸가지야?
Oh, also, every character has somewhere marked, usually on their weapon, like, a phrase from their book.
Ryoshu.
Oh, Ryoshu. I can say this book, real fucking interesting. As they said, every person has their own creed. It's only right to respect this executive manager. But with some creeds, you will have difficulty in even simply pretending to sympathize. You've noticed that the sinner in question is a silent chain smoker whose eyes shine and before gleam only during battle. She believes that senselessly destroying the enemy's heads is an uncultured act and a step backwards for art. Caution. The sinner's background is one that even our company may have trouble handling. It is advised against making her breed personal resentment towards you. Now, this is a subtle detail and it's like cropped art, but Japanese, yes. If you notice in the background of her image, there are these weird protrusions. There's a full art version of this, and it's meant to be a hand reaching for her. But what in the city is known to be administered title based after a hand. There's a thumb right here with a notable, like, red velvet hat. There's the index with parchment stamped. The middle, the ring, and the pinky. How interesting. Fun fact for people who have not read Leviathan, because we don't know what middle ring and pinky are all about, but we have seen the ring. Only in Leviathan do we know why it's like this abstract art piece. I won't spoil it because they're undoubtedly gonna show up. But if you wanted to know a little bit about the ring, it's in Leviathan. Shh. Anyway, Ryoshu's book. Ryoshu in the Japanese book is a painter. Someone who is lusting after, like, the ultimate and purest form of art. And is commissioned by the Emperor to craft a masterpiece. However, Ryoshu or the Emperor, I forget which one is the one that starts all this, is only interested in the macabre. And because it's the Emperor, you cannot displease them. So, Ryoshu continues to construct heinous acts of art. If you've ever seen the archetype in media of, like, the artist who paints with blood, it's that cranked up to, like, an absurd degree. Like, some of the things Ryoshu creates as an art piece for the Emperor are heinous. And Ryoshu just slowly starts to lose himself as he's driven towards the ultimate art piece. As he increasingly just descends into this maddened haze. And the book ends by Ryoshu... I don't remember if it was the Emperor's doing that it occurred or Ryoshu's own. But Ryoshu finishes the masterpiece at the end of the book. And the main centerpiece is Ryoshu's sister, or brother, or mother, or wife, something like that. I think it's a female relative being murdered and is like the centerpiece of the art. Ryoshu finishes the piece and immediately, to not get demonetized, we'll say it as Persona 3's himself in the fucking skull. We'll put it that way. How about that? And it just ends. That's the end. Great. Cool. Fantastic.
메르소, 그렇게 불러주시겠습니까?
And now, I think we can all agree that out of everything said, and none of it matters. Because Merceau is the best character. Because we asked it of him. Wants clear and concise commands, requiring no judgment on his part. Ah, so fuck. 10 out of 10, best character. 100 out of 100, best character. If there's one character I'm the most interested to see his arc, it's Merceau. I think, is this it? Merceau's shtick in his book is that you'll be able to figure that out. I think just by experiencing the game, you'll be able to figure out what's up with Merceau. Because I genuinely do not know if there are words in the English language to properly represent what Merceau is all about. Or Morceau, however you want to pronounce that. I think Merceau is probably the correct, because that sounds a bit more French. I've called it Merceau for, like, a month, though, to be fair. I have no fucking idea. Anyway, what matters in the book, though, is that Merceau is Merceauing around, as we will learn, and he gets, I think it's wrongly convicted of a murder. And so he's standing trial. And during all of it, he's flat-faced, completely logical. You know, I didn't do it, Merceau. But the prosecutor is just this vile, fucking, like, scum of the earth type person. And I won't get into the specifics because it's interesting to see, but we'll just say he gets convicted. Convicted for something he did not commit. And during all of it, the prosecutor is just the worst human being you can think of. And this may genuinely be spoilers for how the game is gonna imply him. At the very end of the book, Merceau finally snaps. He finally, like, emotions. We'll put it that way. And it is just a blind fucking rage. Driven just towards the prosecutor, and I will say nothing more. I am so ecstatic for when we finally get to his arc. I will say nothing more because he is the best character. There have been 3 best characters thus far, and he's the best character. Oh, I love you, Merceau.
특별한 것이 아닙니다. 그저 보통의 태도입니다. 네.
저는 관리자님이 먼저 자세를 굽히려 하다니 당신 본인은 오티스라고 합니다. 이전에 실례했던 부분을 사과드리고 싶습니다.
The sinner could serve as an excellent advisor depending on your capability. However, she also has a meddlesome tendency, so it is recommended to keep her satisfied with short replies of agreement. She's an expert when it comes to tactics and various pearls of wisdom about life, making her advice all the more valuable for your mission. In addition, she possesses a vast knowledge of workshop technologies. You could trust her with simple repairs of the bus. Notice, unlike other sinners, accessing records pertaining to the past of the sinner is not permitted. Warning. Keep an eye on this sinner, and beware that she does not exercise her cunning intellect for purposes other than completing our company's mission. For those of you who don't know, do you know the Odyssey? Yeah. Otis is an interesting one, because Otis, when I actually forget his name. God, I'm so forgetful. When the guy is talking to the Cyclops in the Odyssey, and the Cyclops asks, "What's your name?" and he says, "Nobody." And then, you know, he goes on to kill the Cyclops. He's like, "Oh, nobody's killing me," or whatever. A direct translation of the word nobody is Otis. Why is she named Otis? I have no fucking idea, but I'm very interested. I can't, it's the Odyssey. Like, there's so much more happens in the Odyssey beyond that the one moment where they are referred to as nobody. But the fact that they're called Otis is like, why? I have nothing, like, I can't even give you, like, here's the Odyssey summarized, but I'm like, but why are they named after this one small moment of the Odyssey? And we're not allowed to look up their past? Odysseus, thank you. Fucking, I cannot believe I forgot Odysseus. We don't talk about the Odyssey. We're not talking. Why are you giving that example?
이거 참.
I'll ignore the very clearly evil look on Otis's face. It's fine.
역시 처음부터 저희를 이끄실 분이라는 걸 한눈에 알아봤습니다. 인간의 대부분은 서로가 맞붙어 소음과 마찰을 이끌어내지만 그중 소수는 맞붙는 것으로 서로에게 이득이 되는 경우가 있다고 합니다. 검을 날카롭게 벼리기 위해선 그만큼 강한 숫돌이 필요한 것처럼 누구보다 관리자님을 위해 헌신하겠습니다. 편히 써주시기를.
아까 숲에서는 불쌍하게 나뒹군다고 말하더니 잘도 그런 말을 성대 밖으로 꺼낼 수 있네요.
제가 마지막이네요. 파우스트입니다.
Well, Purgus knocked. No, I don't think I will cover Faust. The sinner who developed the engine of Mephistopheles, the bus operated by Limbus Company. She claims there's no one in the city who could rival her library of knowledge and wisdom, and she's necessarily wrong. You might find her high and mighty attitude when she allows you to converse with her displeasing, but as seen with how she treats everyone with subtle gestures of arrogance, there's no hope of parting her with it. Ever. We recommend simply nodding once and getting over it. And though she has unparalleled genius, we can't quite figure out how to use this one. Perhaps you could be the one to find out. Though I will say, even though I'm just gonna not cover Faust, we'll leave that one a little mystery. Because they kept the most mysterious people for the very end. Like, Merceau, Otis, and Faust are the final three. Because remember, the chapters of characters are going in order. And, oh, these little fucking bastards, of course, kept them for the end. I mean, it makes sense. Of course, Faust would be the final one, but... we'll leave that there. I can finally turn on auto again.
한번 만날까 말까한 천재죠. 납득하지 못한 듯한 반응이군요, 단테. 괜찮습니다. 경험을 통해 차차 이해할 수 있을 거예요. 파우스트가 진귀한 천재였다는 사실 말이에요. 관측자가 깨닫지 못한다 하여 사실이 진실이 되는 일은 없으니까요.
소개는 여기까지. 단테, 당신의 직무를 알려드리죠.
관리자를 말하는 거냐고 묻고 있어요.
맞습니다. 관리자 단테. 당신은 지금 소개받은 이 12의 수감자와 함께
And then,
지옥을
if it wasn't obvious,
것입니다.
Dante is very clearly Dante's Inferno. You have sinners. The fucking bus is called Mephistopheles. Like, and the driver is named Charon. I don't think I need to properly allude to, like, the demons of Dante's Inferno. Ugh. Yeah, it's just Divine Comedy. It's all whatever. Fucking, who's haven't seen fucking Dante's Inferno? Everyone knows fucking Dante. I will say though, as a me thing, when I was going through shit,
지옥으로 가야 하는 이유를 묻네요.
when I was going through all the pre-release footage or anything like that and seeing all the trailer images, I can tell you the last fucking character I was expecting us to play as was Dante. I was expecting Dante to take, like, Virgilius's role. I was not expecting this at all.
지옥의 끝에는 보물이 기다리고 있으니까 그렇게 말하면 되겠습니까?
Bad take, banned. 3 of those are fine, but 1 of those is bad.
아예 알아듣질 못하는군요.
이해를 요구한 건 아닙니다, 단테. 의사를 물은 것도 아니죠. 기억과 머리를 되찾고 싶다면 제 말을 들어야 할 겁니다.
미적거리네요.
파우스트 씨, 단테가 계속해서 거부하면 우린 어떻게 되는 거지? 거부할 거란 예상은 없었잖아.
무슨 말씀을? 파우스트는 모든 것을 예상한답니다. 단테, 모든 임무를 마치고 나면 당신은 성위를 새길 수 있을 거예요. 제가 보증하죠.
What did she mean by that?
보이죠? 고개를 끄덕이잖아요.
좋아. 계속 가면 되겠어. 그런데 카론, 아까부터 왜 출발을 안 하고 있지? 졸았나?
버스 기사는 졸음 쉼터에서만 졸아, 베르. 매피 앞에 이상한 놈들이 서성이고 있었어.
카론, 말했잖아. 버스에 무슨 일이 생기면 곧바로 알려야 한다니까.
메피스토 팰레스. 이 버스의 이름이자 버스를 구동하는 엔진의 이름. 그리고 파우스트의 심혈을 기울인 역작이죠.
지옥을 순항하기에는 걸맞는 나룻배가 아닐 수 없지. 그렇게 생각하지 않습니까, 단테? 보아하니 뒷골목에 기거하는 익숙한 쥐새끼들이군. 마침 잘 됐습니다, 단테. 지휘를 연습하기는 더할 나위 없는 조건이군요.
단테, 처음 전투에서는 생략한 부분이 많았어요. 제대로 설명할 시간이 없었으니까요. 하지만 그런 식으로만 전투가 이뤄지면 우리는 항상 도륙날 거고, 당신은 우리를 살리기 위해 의미 없는 고통을 느껴야만 하겠죠. 네, 당신이 시계를 돌려주었기에 우리는 살아나는 거랍니다.
당장 필요한 설명은 아닌 듯합니다, 파우스트 씨. 자잘한 담소는 나중에. 너희들 전원 하차.
전투에 대한 설명을 이어가죠.
All right, since we're apparently just flush with there it goes. Since we're just flush with people that already know what's going on, how do you feel right now, Lag? What's your initial takeaway of this experience? Because it's off to tutorial combat. Woo-wee! Don't worry about that. Also, you can see the main game is called Inferno. Very nice. Selva Obscura. Alright, time to die. Oh, there's a story button. That'd make life easier. That explains it. Okay. Off we go. That way I don't have to keep revisiting the theater button. Hey, how's it going? All actions are dictated by a speed value. Speed is a random number chosen from within a given range each turn. The positions of units are rearranged every turn according to their speeds. Those with lower speeds are placed at the front, making them easier targets. Violence. Oh, I can actually see what I do now. Hey. Oh, yeah, no, I was commenting on that on the first tutorial, about how the very first thing they teach you is resonance, which is one of the least relevant mechanics in the game. Hey, look, I can see my numbers and buttons. Here, you know what? We will listen to Tutorial Andy and just match colors. It's a fucking tutorial. Who gives a shit? Fuck 'em up. Hey, look, we have numbers and mechanics and, like, descriptions. Oh, we get Rodion this time. Oh, wait, no, we had Rodion. It increases your final power by 1. Who cares? At the start of each turn, a skill slot will be added for a sinner in the order they were deployed during team setup. Regardless of the sinner's staggered, in panic, or ego corrosion. What does any of that mean? Who fucking knows? I'm matching color. When a sinner and oh, whoa there, buddy. Okay, I guess there goes that dialogue option. A clash occurs when two characters attack each other. Side of the higher power wins, removing 1 coin from the loser. If both sides still have coins, more clashes will occur until one side has lost all of its coins. The side that loses all of their coins will have their attack skill cancelled. The winner will then attack with their remaining coins, gaining a damage bonus based on the total number of clashes. In a clash, the clash power of the two opposing skills is compared. The side with the greater power wins. The gauge and text shown at the top of the screen predict the odds of winning. So if we come up here, so they're already, I will explain everything as I go along. Don't worry. I will be more than glad to be our god-given, like, actual tutorial, because guess what? I'm a huge loser and actually know how this game works. You think I didn't first try Whaleway 2 at the 196 turns, and then I didn't like it enough to ever get that number lower? You're damn right. Anyway, so unlike in Ruina, so let's go over this one. Is there any way to, like, maintain this? Can I, like, see this permanently? Okay, I guess this will work. So this number right here is the amount of coins you have. So unlike in Ruina, where, like, let's say this is, so this hits, oh shit. So this hit, I can't do that. So this hits once, and this skill hits twice. So unlike in Ruina, where these first two attacks would clash, I would win, and then he would get the second one to be able to hit me unguarded. Instead, in this game, you will continue to clash until one side has completely won. So for example, if I win, so it's a 10 plus 3 versus a 2 plus 1. Meaning, he can roll anywhere from a 2 to a 4, and I can roll from a 3 to a 13. So I can roll either... It's actually plus 10. It's 3 base. Never mind. Whatever. Numbers are weird. We'll just see. Here, you know, we'll come over here and then see fucking... I'm going. Yeah, so look here. Let's watch this. Oh, is it not going to slow it down? I thought we were at the tutorial time where it would slow that down. Oh, shit. Yeah, none of you saw that. None of you saw me accidentally right-click the border. I guess we're not at that point of the tutorial, then. Get that sanity. Oh, yeah. Look at these fucking rats. Also, that is not even necessarily true, Lucatin. Like, single coin skills just suck. The blue orb next to a character's health bar is an indicator of their sanity, or SP. The seer in the unit's right at their sanity, or SP. It is a range of minus 45 to positive 45. Okay, there it goes. I guess we didn't need that tutorial. Very cool. You can view the effects of sanity. I guess I will explain sanity. Rest over the detail, examine in detail. Okay, relative to panic has a chance to give order to describe. Okay, yeah. So, how sanity works in this game is you start off at 0 sanity. If you win clashes, you gain sanity. If you get hit, you lose sanity. Losing sanity is weird. Effectively, sanity determines how likely you are to hit heads. Yeah. But that doesn't necessarily conflate to clashing power because of the way that coins work in RNG. But yes. So, whenever you win a clash, you gain sanity. Whenever you do stupid shit, you lose sanity. The higher your sanity is, the more likely you are to roll heads. So just like in Ruina, where there's, like, speed ranges and there's damage ranges, in this game it's all coin flips. So this skill is a 2 plus 7. So when it's time to attack with Ishmael, she will either roll a 2 or a 9. It won't be in a range of 2 to 9 like she could roll like a 6 or like a 3. No, it'll either be 2 or 9, depending on whether or not her coin lands heads or tails. You can determine that by this number up here. It's a baseline of 2, so it's by default 2. Then if it rolls heads, that coin gives 7 power. The higher your sanity, the more likely you are to roll heads. Normally it's a 50-50 chance, and then your sanity is an additional modifier on that. So she's currently at 15 sanity. Head coin flips are always 50-50, but she has 15 sanity, so it's 15 plus 50, making it a 65% chance to roll a heads. Meaning, we are more likely to make this roll a 9 than a 2. That's one of the big main differences between Ruina. If we come over here, Yisong only has 5 sanity, so it's a 55 chance. That's also Yisong. Gregor has 17, so that's a 67% chance. And so on and so forth. 20, so 70, and so on and so forth. Whereas negative sanity works the opposite. If you have negative... I know, right? Negative sanity is the opposite. Once you hit negative, you start decreasing your coin rolls. So for example, they're at minus 45, they have a 5% chance to roll heads, meaning they're effectively worthless. Because you saw that this is a 2 plus 7. Would you rather hit for 9 or 2? Like, that is a major swing. Another thing to note, when you get to minus 45 sanity, your character will panic and will effectively self-stagger. So that's how they've actually implemented the sanity mechanics from Lobotomy Corporation via the sanity gauge. So they tried to conflate the systems of Lobco and Ruina into a more like centralized combat system. It kind of worked, it kind of did.
행동을 개시합니다.
But it's cool that they brought sanity back. Sanity's always been a cool system. Yeah, we don't talk about it. Well, okay, we will talk about that, but later. We're going over this one piece at a time for the people at home. Oh, there's no post-battle for this one, so we just come on in here. There's gonna be a lot of interruptions. Because unlike Ruina, I can't go on like a massive stint of deck building and doing side things and combat lasting forever. It's just gonna be a lot of cutscenes. This is gonna be more of a movies to movie time rather than a gameplay time, but let's go.
놓친 적을 걱정하네요.
걱정할 건 없습니다. 마침 가야 할 길이었으니 가로.
And the story's so
발판을
good.
꽂고 신나는 기분으로 달릴게.
Oh yeah. Right, that's our... I guess that's the whole cutscene before combat? Alright. Cool. There's your pre-battle. Then we enter violence and get another fucking tutorial. This will get a little bit better. Okay, it won't get better, because once I'm out of the tutorial, I'll have my units, but we'll worry about that later. These form a chain of skills. That one. And then you can see the number, the descriptor down here. Favored, neutral, favored. You don't see any of the other ones. So the actual ranges here determine how likely you are to win this. So this says favored, which means you have a... Okay, we'll start with neutral. Neutral is you have either a 40% chance to win or a 60% chance to win. It's roughly neutral. Favored means you have a 61 to like... I think it's like... I know they changed it semi-recently. It's 40 to 60 for neutral. It's 61 to like 79 or 89 for favored, and then dominating is like 81, 91 to 100% chance. And then there's also struggling and hopeless, which are the opposite, where you have a decreased chance to win. They're like, okay. Skills have two major properties. Please never... Oh. Okay, I was gonna say, whoa there, buddy. Let's not be throwing some shade around here about the type of media I enjoy, but okay, I understand now. Yes. Skills have two major properties. Their attack type and sin affinity. Attack types are slash, pierce, and blunt, just like Ruina. But the sin affinities are wrath, lust, sloth, gluttony, gloom, pride, and envy, because everyone knows the sin of gloom. Combined with resistances, attack types and affinities determine the damage of skills. Check the attack type, so I'm using sloth versus a pride. Don't talk about where greed went. The resistance and weaknesses of each unit of he's weak to slash. Don't worry about that.
금방
Click
다녀올게.
buttons. Hey, you know, I'm gonna be honest, I've only really recently started trying to learn what the actual affinities are called. I've just been calling them red, blue, green, yellow for like a year now, and I've only like sat down and tried to learn them like a month ago. You can use defense skills to deal with enemy. Oh god, defense skills. Say hello to the worst tutorial because these are super good, but no one ever uses them. Defense skills activate against enemy attacks paired with it. If a defense skill is impaired, it will activate when the unit is subject to an unopposed attack. Unlike attack skills, defense skills need to be generated. Let's generate a guard skill. Like his portrait, defense skills guard. So unlike in Ruina, where you have like offensive and defensive die on the same exact page, in this game you have to specifically decide to guard. Not true, but it wasn't fun either. Oh, absolutely not true. I can guarantee you that because I didn't. and I have proof. In the Bullet, who's in the lurking, I have no idea he's here right now, was there for it because I did it with a friend. We'll worry about Filtero later. Guard skills... Okay, I guess my example isn't exactly fair either. Guard creates a shield with health equal to its power value. The shield will absorb incoming damage first. Use your guard multiple times in a single turn to have it activate that many times. Guard skills have been generated. Do the same with a counter skill. Click on Rhodia. Counter skills. Unlike other defensive skills, counter has an affinity and will generate its corresponding ego resource. And that's not actually true anymore. When using counter skill, the unit will launch an unopposed attack after being a hit. However, the unit cannot launch counter while being staggered. AK counter's the worst. There are some very niche times where counter's good, but like... So, defense skills, so let's say you roll an 11 defense, you'll get an 11 shield, and you can, you know, take 11 damage without taking any damage. That makes sense. But counters are, you just eat the attack wholesale and then deal, what, like, 9 plus 4 back? That's awful. Just do an unopposed attack and eat it. Counters have very... we're still on the basics. I'll get into it later. What did she mean by this? I'm not gonna worry about it. Evade skills. Now we're getting into the broken shit. When using evade, the character will dodge if the evade's final power is greater than that or equal to the incoming attacks. The attack will hit with full force if the evade's power is lower, so be careful. So evade is the all or nothing defensive skill. If you evade, you take no damage. If you don't evade, you take full damage. But a lot of the time, taking no damage is way better than taking some damage with guards. Or even worse, taking all of the damage with counters. Evades can just break shit, and they're very fun. Use them more. The skills have been generated without a problem, now utilize them to continue the battle. Okay. What the fuck's out here, guard news?
좋은 전략이네요. 가보죠.
See, Yisong guarded and took... He actually didn't get a shield, so I don't know. Whatever. They're doing it. It's somewhere on screen. Sure. Oh, see, here's dominating. That means I have a 80 or higher % chance to win, or maybe it's 90. I forget. They changed that shit. Recently. I don't fucking know, man. Dominating my ass. Oh, there it is. Hey, maybe I'd actually start dealing damage. Thank you, tutorial. Man, this tutorial sucks. I have already complained about it multiple times. Do you want to talk about the fact that the first thing it teach you is resonance? That thing that's like, oh man, if you get an absolute resonance, you get one final power. Oh man, fucking, that's a real humdinger in it.
가보죠.
I will cover it when we get there. I was already 100% expecting to have to be the tutorial guy because there are so many niche things that... Fuck, if I didn't, like, have brain rot and decided to look up every single mechanic in this game in detail, I wouldn't know about. And there's still some shit that I don't know about. Shit starts getting weird sometimes. Oh, man. Alright. Now we can watch the post cutscene. Hey, Lucaton, funny you mentioned that. Because I didn't. I actually tried doing something similar in a fight that comes up, and it's like, fuck. I never understood how it determined who the fuck actually triggered counter dice. Because I'm almost certain there was a time in the past where it was determined by who targeted that specific skill slot, but sometimes not. Oh, God. Anyway.
저는 정체되지 않고 나아갈 수 있다는 말에 여기에 합류한 거예요. 그런데 지금은 쥐새끼도 아니고 계속 의미 없는 폭력만.
의미가 없진 않소. 저들은 우리를 공격하는 악이지 않소.
시끄러워요. 좀 조용히 좀 해봐요.
Thank you, Ishmael.
아무튼 이런 용역 폭력단 같은 행동만 명령할 거라면 다른 일을 하는 것도 고민해봐야 할 것 같아요.
입사 계약서를 제대로 안 읽으셨나요? 퇴사는 허용될 수 없답니다.
계약하면서 말한 이야기가 거짓말이라도 그 계약이 효력이 있을 거라 생각하는 건가요?
당연히 효력이 있죠. 애초에 거짓말은 없었으니까.
네?
설마 제가 메피스토펠레스를 그저 운송만 하는 버스로 만들었을 것 같았나요?
메피는 항상 배고프다. 그래서 울어.
엔진이 연료를 섭취할 때 생기는 부산물. 여러분은 그걸 통해 강해질 수 있어요. 이상 씨는 잘 알고 계시겠죠? 거울 속에서 모든 가능성을 끄집어낸다면
성장 또한 제약이 없어. 거울 속에 나는 나인가 아니면 또 다른 누구인가.
Is this when we're getting our fucking mirror tutorial? And by that I mean gotcha bullshit. You're goddamn right. They actually tied that shit into the lore. Gotcha garbage.
그렇군요. 이런 걸 의미했던 건가요?
너무 마음이 급할 필요는 없어요, 이스마엘. 버스가 향하면 자연히.
I think that's when there was going to be a cutscene, where it shows you how to do an extraction, like. So I guess I'll explain it for the people at home. It's the gotcha system in this game. What you can do is you can pull an identity out of a mirror, like they were talking about. Here, I can actually probably show that off after this. You can. I don't want to do a poll, man. Oh. Effectively, it's the gotcha system, is that there is a mirror that can show alternative realities to who you are, and apparently Mephistopheles can pull those out, and then you can ascribe those identities to yourself. We'll see. I know, but I'm also uploading these onto YouTube, and I'm specifically doing this playthrough because there were multiple comments on YouTube of being like, or even during my Ruina playthrough, where people are like, yeah, I love Ruina. I've never fucking played Limbus. And I'm like, aye, fair enough. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. If this was not specifically made by Project Moon, I genuinely would never have played this game. Gotcha garbage. So this is literally me doing homework. So people who want to be like, I love the series, but I don't want to play the game, I'm making a playthrough for people to watch, you know, the game. So that's why I'm also like, yo, please no spoilers. That's why I'm explaining everything. We're going through it in order. Plus, there may be things that some of the people in chat may not know. There's some things that maybe I don't know. Who knows? Relegating information is never a sin. It's also why we're watching the fucking tutorial cutscenes. Thank you!
거울 세계에 있는 우리들의 모든 가능성 중 하나를 끄집어내는 거니까 기억이 조금 더 쉬워졌을 거예요. 곧 익숙해질 거예요.
뭐야, 그거 좀 위험해 보이는데? 이러다가 내가 아니게 되는 거 아니야?
여러분은 테세우스의 배가 아니에요. 인격과 기억을 빌리기는 하겠지만 주도권을 잃도록 설계되어 있지는 않아요.
거울에 비치우는 나는 사뭇 다를 수 있으나 거울 밖을 벗어나면 거울 속의 형체 또한 잃기에.
저희가 어떻게 성장할지는 단테 씨에게 달렸어요. 거울 세계의 다양한 가능성을 가장 효과적인 타이밍에 더 씌우는 일을 하실 테니.
메타몰프시스를 말하는 건가?
네.
Like
일종의
Kafka.
탈퇴이자 변신이 될 수 있죠.
어머? 그런 어려운 단어는 어디서 알았대?
주워들었다. 이 사람 저 사람 많이 만나봐야 하는 일을 했었거든.
변신이라.
담소는 끝났나? 일단 길부터 뚫자고. 어차피 지겨울 정도로 붙어 있을 테니 못다한 말은 나중에.
Yeah. So, alright, I guess again for people at home, I would assume the game would have given us like a extraction tutorial. So here. Ugh. It's fucking this. So don't worry about what's on screen right now. It's this. Oh no, I've paid. Oh no, I'm a loser. I paid real green dollars for these. Once. This is cheap. This is it. We are pulling an extraction. What we are looking into is like the engine of Mephistopheles, and these chains are yanking an identity, or ego possibly, out of the bowels of Mephistopheles and the mirror. When you do this during the tutorial, they actually forcibly give you an ID. It's fucking... you know it's not, because it's not glowing yellow. Oh, what did I get? Oh, I got Gregor. Very cool. Anyway. Ignore all of this. You would normally, if in a normal playthrough, you would have gotten this. This is the tutorial identity that everyone gets. And they start off with a banger for people from Ruina. You get an Ishmael ID because she was the one asking about it. That's for the She Association. Damn. That's pretty fucking cool. It sucks. So we're not using it. Worry about it later. Anyway, there you go. For the people who fucking give me back over. Now we gotta kick the shit out of this tutorial. You know, if you're a cool guy and you downloaded the game early on, you would have gotten free song too. Who isn't even called that as much anymore because you don't get him anymore. Each character has a skill set. This is the list of skills in which you draw. Press character to open their info. Oh look, it forcibly equips She Ishmael. So yeah, this is the Ishmael identity. So you can see what it looks like in game. Character open their info tab. Each center you control has their own group of skills. A number of them that show skill will be randomly selected and deployed on the dashboard. Few skills are traded as discarded from the set. They will not reappear until every other skill in the skill set has been used, thus refilling it. Additionally, attack skills have an offense level. In clashes, the difference in offense level may affect the outcome. That should cover the basics here. They don't even explain what that does. So, okay, no, go, okay, go away. So, if you want an actual explanation, we don't need a 000 She ID, because they're never tired. Anyway, for an actual explanation, skill ones are usually the worst, and we'll say that there's a deck. We'll say that there's a metaphorical deck. Whenever you enter a fight, you'll draw 2 random skills from it. In the deck are 3 skill 1s, 2 skill 2s, and 1 skill 3. Skill 3s are usually your best, you only get 1 of them. And the only time you'll see more is if you draw through the entire deck. So like, for example, Gregor has 2 swipes, and swipe is his skill 1. And then you can see a little faint shadow right up here of his next skill that he's going to be drawing, which is a green skill, which is his skill 2. So he'll have drawn 2 skill 1s and a skill 2. So in his deck, whatever's coming next down this line is 1 skill 1, 1 skill 2, and his skill 3. After that, it resets. That's how the deck works. An offense level is a weirdly, like, abrupt way of describing that. Where do you even see offense level on this new ass HUD that I hate? How do you... This? Okay, there it is. So every skill has their own unique offense level. So for example, She Ishmael has +1 offense. So it's right now it's 2. She's an offense level of 2. And the enemy has an offense level of 1, for example. When you are clashing with an enemy, the difference in offense level will give clash power to whoever has the higher amount in units of 3. So let's say I had 5 offense level, and this dude had 2. 5 minus 2 is 3. I have 3 more offense level than him, so we can see her clash right now is going to be a 4 to 12. When it started clashing, it would forcibly make this a 5 to 13. That's offense level. And that is also what absolute resonances do. It gives you a +1 to the skill. So for example, instead of a 4 to 12, if I had an absolute resonance and the offense level, this would go up to a 6 to 14, but only in the clash. There you go. That's an actual tutorial that the game doesn't tell you. And now we can see the new animations for She Ishmael. Very good. Why, yes, battles are also way more hectic because there's a billion fucking people. Besides your skills, your sinners have passive abilities. Sinners in battle have their combat passives active, where sinners who are not directly participating in battle will provide aid with their support passives. For that in practice, activate the passive chain by changing 2 pride skills. Okay. I'm not allowed to not. So for example, we come over here. Analytical Eye, deal +10% damage to units with a negative status effect. You change 2... Fucking... Why do we have to always have resonant ones? Okay. Like they said, units that are in combat. Units in combat have their passives. So for example, the one we're trying to activate is Faust's. Faust's is a resonance passive, meaning we have to use 2 of them because, you know, they resonate. It's 2 pride. So when we have 2 pride in a thing, we get this is like a bonus effect on top of what we're already doing, where we'll deal +10% damage to units that have negative status effects. This guy's bleeding, so we'll do +10% damage. Then there's also Own. Whenever you use a affinity down here, it'll be banked over here into your resources. Whenever you own X amount of a sin type, this will permanently active. So for example, Gloom. I have 2 Gloom over here. I'm going to be using a Gloom skill. After this turn, from that point on, this will start activating. Yeah. And that's the main difference between passives. Resonance ones usually suck. Sports indicates with passives active. Passive you possess current number of ego resources to change. I just explained that. Fuck these guys. Oh god, she's a police ID. Oh yeah, we have waves in the top left. A current encounter comes in multiple waves. To help with this, your sinners possess powerful skills called Ego, manifested by resonating with their emotions because, oh yeah, we have our own ego this time. We're not just relegated to using other people's ego. To use ego, you need ego resources, which are these things over here. Okay, I know that. First time you said, just here's some shit. So we'll come down here. Sinners who can currently use ego will be highlighted. This one's yellow. We got pride over here. Ego skills must be generated on the dashboard, much like defensive skills. Press and hold the highlighted portrait. Press the icon of the ego you want to use. This consumes ego resources over here to generate an ego icon. Ego skills can be cancelled by just, you know, clicking down here and generating a defensive skill over it. Ego is powerful equipment that manifests by resonating with your sinner's emotions. To use an ego, you need the sin affinity-based ego resources. Whenever you use an attack skill, you'll gain an ego resource matching its affinity. On top of requiring ego resources, ego takes a toll on a sinner's sanity. At low sanity, sinners might suffer from ego corrosion. Sinners corroded by ego will ignore your commands. So, okay, that's not a great time to tutorialize that. After using an ego, its passive ability will activate for next turn and further empower your sinners the rest of the battle. Okay, not a good time to tutorialize that. What are you doing? Overclocking, we'll get there. I'm not there yet. Bad tutorial. Bad. Stop that. We're not there yet. Oh, I can't do anything. They have fully, like, locked out my controls. Alright, we'll explain ego in a second. This goes... It's fucking... Okay. Ugh. Bad tutorial. Bad. We're not there yet. Attack skills can be single target or multi-target. Nothing better than an overclock tutorial when you can't overclock the available egos. I didn't even think about that part. Oh, God. AoE skills. Team's ego that you're playing has an AoE skill. Area of effect skills. Targets of area of effects will be divided into two categories: main target and the sub-targets. Clash with AoE skills can only occur in the chosen main target. If an AoE skill loses its clash, the attack will be cancelled for every target. So they've nerfed mass attacks from Ruina. Instead of everyone having to win the clash, whoever's being targeted, or you can redirect it, if they win the clash, the whole move is cancelled. Thank God. But that also works for you. But honestly, mass attacks were dumb as fuck and were great. I'll explain it in a sec. So attack weight 3, this is how many targets it's gonna hit. Every other skill has an attack weight of 1, you know, so on and so forth. But this has an attack weight of 3, so it's gonna hit 3 people. It's a bit more complicated now, we don't need to learn that yet. Better tutorial, there you go.
다음은 침묵을 안겨드리죠.
모든 결과들은 파우스트가 알아요.
Math. What a weird team to be having as your default. Like, it's not even the first 5. Because it would be the first 5 instead of Faust, it'd be Sinclair. Utilizing ego will be an important part of your strategy. If you proceed, allow me to introduce a useful feature. You can now let the game choose skills for you, aka you're always going to be clicking this button. Yeah, okay, that's pretty obvious. If you click win rate, it'll automatically chain the skills that are the highest chance to win their respective clashes, and then damage usually just dog piles on one person, and you usually shouldn't pick this option. But luckily, in the tutorial, these don't do anything different, so they're terrible, like... So they're like a terrible tutorial because you're like, what's the difference? Nothing. In the tutorial, these don't do anything different. Great. Also, I distinctly remember when the game first launched, that button was broken and would never work. It took them like a day to fix it. Or maybe not a day. But if you were here on like when the game launched, the win rate button just didn't work. None of them did. So you had to, like, restart the game and wait a bit for them to fix it. It was great. So that part of the tutorial was just unbeatable for some people, one of which was me. It didn't break for everyone, though, which was a piece of shit. But, bastards. We did it! We won the battle! Woo!
길이 열렸어. 하지만 베르, 메피가 달리기만 했어도 길은 뚫렸을 거야.
진정하시죠, 단테. 걸음마도 떼지 못한 아이에게 달리기를 시킬 순 없지 않겠습니까? 걸어볼 기회가 있다면 직접 걷고 나서 달리셔야죠. 그리고 단테, 당신은 관리자, 저들의 관리를 하는 게 업무입니다. 나는 길잡이, 어디를 가고 어떻게 개척할지는 내가 판단합니다. 알겠습니까, 토달지 말라고. 째깍거리긴 하는데 뭐라고 하는 거지, 파우스트 씨?
별말 없었습니다.
긍정을 성대하기도 하는군. 앞으로는 고개만 끄덕여도 좋습니다, 딴테.
그럼 내피 출발하자. 야호.
Thanks, Faust.
기분이 어때?
매우 신나. 날아갈 것 같습니다, 카론.
좋아.
베르길리우스, 그가 목적지를 묻습니다.
말했던 것 같습니다만, 딴테.
출발할게. 부릉부릉.
지옥으로 출발하지.
Yeah, I wish it would. It's not as good as Ruina's opening, though. I will say, it's a solid opener, but it's not as good. The song is absolute fire, though. Oh. Alright. Enough of the tutorial town. Let's go play the fucking game, shall we? Hey! Now, how will this handle this? Okay. Oh, the ride's awkward and intimidating, even though I've been handed the title of manager. I have no idea what to do at a time like this. I decided to ask the sinners with a bug's arm where we're currently headed. Fantastic. Yeah, just you know, D district is just on fire at all times.
앞에 장애물이 있어.
We did it, Lag. All right, you know what? Lag, give us a brief summary. How do you feel? Where would you put this on the tier list? What are your first thoughts as a blind viewer? Oh yeah. Yes, I'm calling you out. All of them. Shit. All right, that's a lot. Yeah, from this point on, little nodules of the story are gonna start costing energy. Ugh. Great, gacha games are my favorite.
그래, 계속 지나가자고.
응, 덜컹덜컹. 비싼 세정제야. 베르가 큰맘 먹었다고 그랬어.
Yeah, correct. But that's not permanent. I had to spend like 4 boxes just to get through the current arc. Ugh. I mean, I am now. You missed the you missed the plots. Do you even play Limbus? I don't remember if I ever saw you streaming it at the very least. Anyway, I finished Ruina and the other game I was playing fell through. So this kind of just conveniently slotted into the new empty spot. Okay, fair enough. Oh, Jesus, man, you don't get use such language with me, Jesus. Oh, come on, man, it's okay.
방금 벌레 양반이라고 부르려고 했지?
No.
다시 한번 말하자면 내 이름은 그레고르.
No spoilers.
당신이 시대 대가리가 아니라
God, I can't
김태라고
wait.
불리듯이.
Gregor. Woo.
어이, 기사 양반. 우리 지금 어디로 가는 거야?
다시 한번 말하자면 내 이름은 카론이요.
Oh, that's not at all as bad as it's ever gotten. It was the what's it called? Sunyata Tadrumpan, I think it's called. The Heathcliff one. I got to, I think it was 149 ideality. And it just didn't happen. And then the next one I got in 1 temple, so fuck me.
당신이 벌레 양반이 아니라 그레고르라고 불리듯이.
Gregor content.
본전도 못 건졌네.
베르가 말했어. 수감자들은 사구로 간다.
사구! 방금 사구라고 말했는가? 그곳은 연두낭자의 출신지로 유명하지. 영웅의 발자취는 그때부터 시작되었다네. 바야흐로.
아까부터 시끄럽게 쫑알쫑알. 입 다물고 조용히 좀 가지.
나는 아까까지 입을 다물고 있었네만.
말 대답하지 말라고.
이봐요. 본인이 더 시끄럽다는 건 알아요?
죽어도 살아난다고 해서 아프지 않은 건 아니야. 한 번만 더 주둥이 놀려봐.
옳은 말을 했는데도 돌아오는 게 폭력이라니. 수준 알만하네요.
모분조도. 모가지를 분질러야 조용해지지. 도야지 같은 새끼들.
이유 없는 폭력은 용서받을 수 없다네. 그대는 내가 응징하지. 아, 이럴 줄 알았어. 옷에 피가 튀었잖아. 저기, 꼭 내 옆에서 싸워야겠어?
Oh, they also killed Heath and Ish. I guess they died.
잠깐 한눈이라도 팔려고 하면 사고를 치는군. 너희 넷 이번 달 버스 청소다.
어째서? 본인은 정의를 구현했을 뿐인 것을. 잠깐, 내 옷 빨래도 포함시켜줘. 피는 와인이랑은 다르게 잘 안 빠진단 말이야. 심 비싼 건데.
단테, 시계를 돌려주시겠습니까? 그런 모양새면 어리둥절한 표정이라는 건가? 기억해두죠. 파우스트 씨.
처음 만났던 날에도 당신이 했던 일을 말하는 거예요, 단테. 그때는 본능으로 해냈던 거겠지만. 자, 다시 해보죠. 눈을 감으세요. 사실 문은 어디에나 있어요. 그러나 당신에게만 보이죠. 왜냐하면 당신의 하늘엔 별이 지지 않았으니까.
Full Metal Alchemist.
고통을 나눌 준비가 되었나요?
목이 베어졌다가 붙어버린 신경은 어떻지? 두근거리던가?
어차피 살리는 게 되게 할 일 아닌가? 할 거 있으면 그 가짜는 시계대가리째로 부수기 전에 저리 짜져 있어.
잠깐만요. 단테 씨가 괴로워하시는 것 같은데 이쯤에서 저...
시계대가리, 다음번엔 널 으깰 거야. 이만하면 알아들었지?
정말 생긴 대로라더니 천박하게도 구네요.
한 번 죽어서는 만족을 못하나?
이거 아무래도 제대로 교정해둬야겠어.
I'll leave that for a second. So, wait, you have played this before, Lag? How many of you people have played this game? Why does everything I set out to commit to all just built on a pile of lies? Everyone's played this. Canto 1, fair enough. Well, I guess we're gonna be retreading some old ground then. You know, I actually have a theory that, you know, I was debating on a time to unveil this for the people in the audience, as they may not know it, but I'll do that at the end of the stream. So, give me another 50 minutes and I'll maybe blow you guys away. It depends on how in the rub you are of this game's plot. This one's a homegrown one that I'm thinking of.
첫 번째 규칙. 버스 안에서는 무기 부딪히는 소리가 들리지 아니한다. 이 순간 이후로 이 규칙이 깨어지면 너희는 내게 제발 죽여달라고 애원하게 될 거야. 난 충분히 그럴 수 있는 사람이야. 알지? 단테, 미안하게 됐습니다. 시계를 한 번만 더 돌려주시죠. 내가 아직 사과와 부탁을 하고 있을 때 문을 여는 게 좋을 텐데, 관리자 단테. 아, 단지 아픔이 두려운 거라면, 그래서 고개를 젓는 거라면 기꺼이 도와드리겠습니다. 그 정도의 고통에는 눈 하나 깜빡 안 하게 말이죠. 그럼 견딜 수 있지 않겠습니까?
내가 잘못 들은 건가? 관리자님이 분명 거부 의사를 내비쳤던 것 같은데.
당신, 끼어드는 박자가 잘못됐군.
입사할 때 나의 상관은 네가 아니라 관리자님이라고 분명히 들었다. 관리자께서 고개를 저었다면 의미는 충분히 전달되었다고 보는데.
그래, 보좌관께서 나서시겠단 말인가? 그렇다면 보좌관께도 충분한 의미를 전달해 주어야겠군. 잘 생각하셨군.
관리자께서 그러시겠다면.
고맙습니다.
Oh, okay. Glad to see we're just a bunch of friends around here. You know, just hanging out with the boys as it's fucking caves. Sinclair's fucking skull in. Man. There was one thing that I enjoyed immensely about Limbus Company Day 1. It was a ton of people that were only into this game because they had played other gachas, as they, 1, are immediately disgusted, and 2, immediately filtered, because this game gets hard and it gets complicated and it gets going pretty damn fast. It's in Kanto 2 that, like, the big filter, at least was. So there's actually, so I guess I can give a brief rundown for people at home, because this should actually be new to most of you, because a lot of people haven't actually read the side material. So the first one, Wonder Lab, is debatably not canon anymore because of controversy, and the dude who wrote it got fired. So I'm unsure what they're gonna do with it, which sucks, because that series ended in a way that made me so fucking hyped for Limbus. Anyway, Wonder Lab is the story of one of the side Lobotomy Corporation branches during Lobotomy Corporation. So obviously we know what's going on in the main facility because we take place there. As it turns out, in the side facilities, they don't really have, like, an X equivalent. They have an Angela, but they're not quite as powerful. What is instead, you know how when you're delegating agents, you have that one agent that's like the team manager? That position is like what the Sephiroth do, where they don't typically have like one overarching manager. It's more like a board of directors that is in every single Lobotomy Corporation branch. And instead of receiving their own abnormalities from... and then they receive their abnormalities from either the main branch, or they'll receive what is referred to as an aberration, not an abnormality. Okay, it's still an abnormality, but it's an aberration. Aberrations are what happens where, you know how abnormalities are effectively the distortion of a person pulled out of them. What happens if you do it again? An aberration occurs. An example, and is the main example they use in Wonder Lab, is Red Riding Hooded Mercenary and the Big and Will Be Bad Wolf. If we pull out their abnormality again, an aberration will occur, which is the same general theme but twisted in a new way. And instead of the Red Riding Hooded Mercenary, we got like the blue smocked shepherd, and I think the other one's like a dog. I don't remember what it is. It's not a wolf, it's a dog. And the main twist is that it's still, they look exactly the same. They're like very identical looking. Instead of being a wolf, it's a dog and all that. And in the aberration, it's the shepherd that's like the threat. You know what I mean? And is the one that's like the really scary, evil one. And the dog is just trying to get away and live its own life, but it's been trained by the shepherd. It's very, very similar to Red Riding Hooded Mercenary, but it's just slightly different. That's an aberration. Wonder Lab ends with, and is the story of 3 random agents. And it ends right at about the end of Lobotomy Corporation, where Lobotomy Corporation is, you know, shutting down and all that. The Wonder Lab branch, which I don't actually know if we were ever confirmed which branch it was, they receive an abnormality called, like, I think it's called the Final Rose, and they're not allowed to turn down abnormalities, but the abnormalities work condition is, we aren't explicitly told, but you need to send a very high tier unit into its containment chamber, and that unit will guaranteed die, no matter what. So they have to effectively decide which one of the main cast is going to die. The main character, one of the 2 main characters, Rose, goes in, Rose, haha, and dies. The secondary main character, Kat, because this is all going on when Lobco is just ending, kind of thing, she distorts, I believe, is actually what happened. Kat is one of the first people to distort at seeing her friend die, and like sinks into despair, and then, you know, like Lobco, the facility, like all of that shit shuts down. And the series ends with the final member of the group, Ty, forming their own workshop, or their own office, known as the Rose Office. And their whole job is they were going and descending into the ruins of the Lobotomy Corporation branch, trying to find Kat. And Ty is like a big badass, because Ty has not only been working, it was like a tier 5 agent, but is also frequently delving into the old Lobco and like fishing out Ego and things like that. And I'm like, damn, I want to see this person in game. That sounds really cool. And then it's not canon anymore, and now I'm mad. The next one is Distortion Detective. Distortion Detective was a half manga, half novel. There's 2 of them. It got canceled as well, like similar to what happened to Leviathan, except the reason they canceled it was because they wanted to make it a game. So the storyline isn't finished, because we're gonna be seeing it eventually, so I guess I'll cover what happened in the book then. It's the main character is the Distortion Detective. She, ever since like the White Nights and Dark Days, has been able to see distortions on people. So you know how whenever someone like descends into the madness state, they distort? She can see it before it happens, as well as the severity of like the condition. So she knows when someone is about to distort, and because she has that unique perspective on distortion, it's her job to go around and fix them. Because people just around the city can just randomly fucking distort. It's her job to go over there and, you know, fix it. It's effectively like I guess the most accurate thing I could think of would be like a Scooby-Doo kind of thing, where it's like every few chapters is like a new case, and there's like a slowly mounting overarching plot. Not a whole lot happens in Distortion Detective. It got canceled pretty early on, but one of the main things about it is that that's where the Udjat come from in Library of Ruina. Those guys are the Mook faction of the very clearly not the main villain of that book. Best fan guess for his O-Corpse branch. Neat. And then the final one, Leviathan, which you guys said you wanted to read, so I won't go into too much detail, is Vergilius' backstory. It takes place the moment Ruina ends. And this is a pop quiz for any of you at home. Did you know Ruina had an ending that was removed from the game? In the original ending of Library of Ruina, there was a post-credits scene. In the post-credits scene, it's the Hana Association being like, what the fuck are we gonna do? A bunch of people are reappearing around the city, you know, and all this weird shit's going on. The Purple Tear shows up and requests them to build a foundation and an organization to be able to manage the abnormalities, ego going everywhere. She wants to start a company that can handle all of these things. If we're not shown anything else, it just cuts to black. The beginning of Leviathan is Vergilius running into the Purple Tear with Toe Mary in stock, I guess, being like, what is this creature? She's like, I need it. And she just takes it. Bye. Because Toe Mary is obviously what immediately people would think of. Purple Tear is very much so I don't want to give the details, but so not only do we learn about the ring finger, but the Purple Tear is also the reason why Vergilius is here, pretty much. Like, pretty much, you know? We're not given the exact reason, but she's very, like, he tries to fight her and loses, is the thing. Like, I don't know if he was given it all. It wasn't really a fight. It's very brief and it's very early on. He tries to stop her. He fails. So Vergilius, low on the power tier list, despite the fact that he's still a color. He could absolutely murder everyone in this fucking bus 300 times over. Yeah. Purple Tear is pulling a lot of strings. There you go. I get, maybe, would that be a spoiler for this game? Not really, because it happened before this game came out. We don't know anything about that. We just know that she's probably the reason why he's here. It's also probably why he's not very happy. Yeah. That's why I said it's a very weird that it's such a subtle line of dialogue. But in Library of Ruina, I don't remember where it's triggered, but someone asks Roland, like, well, now that the red mist's gone, who's the strongest color now? And he's like, I don't know. Maybe the pale Quillin? And we have just no idea who the hell that is. So, huh. What did he mean by this? Alright. Have I done that? I don't think I've done this one yet. We'll do the freeze. Purple is but one of the many factions. There are many purple tiers.
저기 질문이 있네.
Ah, great. Fucking Dawn content.
첫 번째 규칙은 이해했다네. 그럼 두 번째는 무엇인가?
나 참. 아니 그걸 왜 굳이 나서서 물어보는 거야?
두 번째 규칙. 버스 바닥에 담배꽁초 버리지 마. 자국 남으니까. 잠깐. 버스에 정적이 흐르면 안 되지. 엔진 소리는 어디 갔나? 캐론, 왜 속도를 안 내는 거지?
밥이 없어. 메피가 배고파해.
잘 됐군. 분위기를 좀 환기시키지.
It's pumping gas.
차가 움직이려면 연료가 필요하지. 캐론, 헤드라이트를 깜빡거려봐. 무대 조명처럼.
응, 댄스 타임이야.
잠깐. 헤드라이트까지 켜면 습격받기 딱 좋은 상황이잖아요.
그걸 노린 거군.
네?
에이! 가진 거 다 놓고 내려. 30초 준다. 10, 9. 이봐! 20이 빠졌잖아. 그럼 20초 동안은 기도나 하고 있어라.
왜 이렇게 주변에 모자란 사람들이 많은
Canonical
건지.
dumbass.
뭐라고 했냐?
비겁하게 습격을 하다니. 틀림없는 악인들이로군.
자, 다들 내려. 그리고 말이야. 최대한 죽지 않을 만큼만 해줘. 알지?
Alright. So, that's something else I wanted to bring up, just because we're deep into, like, theory and talking town. Here's something that you can also, like, fucking English. Discuss and dissect were both trying to come out of my mouth at the same time. So we'll come over here real fast. We'll take a look at these. And so here's a neat thing. This is their default ego. We'll start with Faust, because she's the one that we've seen before. But you can actually see some neat things if you actually take a deeper look at their actual, like, ego art. Like, oh, here's the weapon she stabbed with, here's the map. But there's also, here's a funky little window towards that big same, like, chainy heart that we saw to, like, pull ego from. And all of the characters, you can actually kind of, like, look into this and see a little bit of, like, what their deal is. His is clearly like a battlefield and has like a big fucked up arm. Terrifying of a concept. And all of them, like, go into... His is boring. What's a fun one? Okay, so this is a fun one, because remember I told you that he goes to jail at the end of his story. But look at that. A lot of people peeping at this man, and a bunch of other fun stuff. It's a fun one. No, let's do the most fun one, which is, of course... Because there's a slight implication that it is meant to be their respective room on the Mephistopheles, because, you know, they'll have a room to sleep in, is meant to be this, but I'm just like, how the fuck does Ishmael sleep like this? Because it's clearly like a cell, almost. Like, all of them are clearly, like, in a location. Like, Don Quixote is over here is literally, like, playing with dolls. Because, you know, it's Don Quixote, fucking madman. It is, like, literally, like, playing pretend as a knight. Or Otis. Well, I really don't know what to take of Otis. Because, we've seen the Odyssey, but that's a lot of bodies. And we got ones that are just kind of a bit more subtle. You can kind of see, like, there's maybe a theme going on here with Sinclair. You know, maybe a little bit of a little theme. What did you mean by that? I know, I'm great, I'm perfect, I'm the greatest man on this planet, I'm where. Like, here's Rhodion's, who, like, we talked about in her book, like, murdered a person to, like, spread the wealth, so she's, like, flicking a coin, and is also clearly in, like a Russian jail kind of thing, because it's snowy and all that. Ain't that neat? There was a point I was originally going with this, but I've completely forgotten. Anyway, if you wanted a better look at, the whole the finger diagram in the background, it's also there, as well as her hugging the sword. Nice. I don't have everything perfected. We'll look at what I have another time. Now is not the time to be looking at my things. Why did you think I had my default team set to no ego equipped, no identities equipped? We're not here for that. I'm not here to flex my ability to grind in a video game. How bad is this? This time, I will flex my sick collection. Oh my god, you can only use 4. So we're gonna use the defaults. I already have. Guess what? You can actually tell. You can actually tell based on the border around them. You can see how they all look the same. One of them is different. Can you guess which one I've uptied to uptie 4? Because the border around their icon is slightly different. And there's a reason. I didn't just do it as a meme either. Alright, you've taken too long. It's Rhodion. Rhodion has this, like, embezzle icon around the sides over here. She is, at least assuming you don't have IDs, probably the best base ID if you're going for, like, a themed team. And that's just because, God, she applies so much fucking bleed. Alright, since Lag, you know the least, who are your favorites? Pick your favorites. I'll use whoever, because you're meant to start this game at level 1. All of my units are anywhere from level 20 to level 30, so I'm going to absolutely... Yes. More than 4 is a no? Yes. Fuck, where was I going? Yeah, you're meant to start the game at level 1, but all of my units are massively over-leveled, so you can pick whoever the hell you damn well please, Force. Perfect. It makes sense. This is Gregor's storyline. Pick 3 more. And you may need to pick a 5th, because it's weird that we can only use 4. Normally the default's 5. But whoever you want to see the most, whoever you like the most, I don't know. Unfortunately, you're not allowed to... Oh, he gave me money. Alright, fine. No, I was gonna let Lag pick, because Lag doesn't know what's going on, and I want to see his takes, but you did give me money. Rhodion and I get to pick? I don't...
내가 필요해?
Hey Ray, do you want to vote? Alright, whoever next texts in chat, they get to pick the next character. I don't want to do this. If it's the brain rot in me, I'd want to pick a unit that's level 20, because I like distributing XP efficiently. Of course I'm putting everyone on the spot. I am the best streamer. Hey! His name is Merceau. You don't gotta treat him like that.
와, 기대되네요.
내가 나설 차례인가?
No, it depends on the stuff. But yes, I am unfortunately easy to manipulate. Hey, look at that! Oh, fuck off. That's a new tutorial. Get the fuck out of my house. Okay, no, you're gonna make me play like a visual novel or like some weeb game. No, Fort. You have access to my emotes now. Good job, Forrest. You did it. Oh, I'm gonna click the win rate button and fuck it. Just let it go. Oh my god, yeah, no, we are way too good for this point of the game. I'm 1-2 tapping people with the default ID. Oh my god, yeah. And time down for 1 million seconds. Let's see if I can do that on my chat. Best I could do is 1. And I mean that literally. For people who want to see, I meant that literally.
해보기는 할게요. 안 되면 어쩔 수 없지만요.
겨우 이 정도야?
그러셨구만.
Yeah.
승리했어.
Here, you know what? I'll give a little factoid of the units we picked. Fun fact about Don Quixote. Don Quixote has this fun little feature. At 10 plus speed, gain +2 coin power. Don Quixote's max speed is 3 to 6. Don Quixote can gain haste on Clash Win, but in focused encounters, which we'll get to, you can't gain any more speed die. And there's no way in the game to be able to cast Joust twice, as well as the fact that it has to win a clash. If you're in a focused encounter, this criteria of 10 plus speed is literally impossible to fulfill. This is one of the base IDs in the game, Don Quixote default, and she has a condition that in some fights is literally impossible to activate. Great. Very cool. I mean, you can use egos and things like that, I get that, but like, great. Yeah, but Sync Dawn is, you know, a unit that is about building pace. He just stabbed him with his fucked up bug arm. Good shit, Gregor. Alright, I can probably do... We'll see how long this next cutscene is. After the next cutscene, I may break your guys' brain. This is a me theory. This is one that's coming from the underground. I already talked about the whole Pete Rat situation, and I've disclosed a lot of lore, but there's a theory that that's a free battle. Oh. Gross. But they're my... Ooh, what do we got here? Discord notification. Oh, very strange. What's this? Oh shit, I might... That would be actually pretty cool. I would need to... I don't know... Okay, Dealist, that is a very cool suggestion, and you did give me money. I'll look into it, but I'm very, like, illiterate when it comes to streaming. I will say, though, there is something I really wanted to do. I don't know how to set it up, and it's mainly because the thing to do it requires pay, but I really wanted, whenever someone follows, for it to go, why hello there, old sport, but I don't have the Wiseman text-to-speech. But saying goodbye would also be pretty funny. Hello. I love you. I love you. I love you. I'll at least look into it, but unfortunately I'm kind of stream illiterate. Like, I'm amazed I've gotten this far and don't know how to do anything. Also, it's eating people.
다들 제정신이 아닌 것 같아요. 그렇지 않나요?
And while this is going on, I'm gonna do something on the side.
그래요. 맞아요. 이건 제 선택이죠.
There.
전부
There we
익숙해질
go.
거야. 그렇지?
입사하지 않았어도 했을 일이요. 저기 또 악의 무리가 달려드네.
Nice. The bus is hungry. The bus must feed. Alright, let's go do the fights.
빨리 끝내고
There
밥
will
먹으러
eventually reach a
가자고.
point where I'll stop being able to auto-battle every fight, but that day is not today. Now you gotta do... I did make lag a mod. That's what I was doing. I gave lag the ultimate power. I gotta say, if there's one thing that this game does better than Ruina, some of these animations are so fucking cool.
금방 다녀올게.
Some of the basic, like we just don't get to see some of them because they're dying too fast. And a lot of the base IDs don't have the most exciting of animations, but you know. But like, Here, let's give a fun demonstration of some of the emotes now Force can use. Force can use emotes such as once it loads. He can
너무 띄워주실 필요는 없어요.
he
단테님
can't do
덕분일
that one.
거예요.
He can't do my best emote, which is of course to suffer. No one can use that. That's a tier 3 emote. That's the special one. That one's the best one. Look at all them emotes. And you can see I have the RGB ghost and the normal unghost just because I had an animated slot and I needed to do something. So that ghost has RGB lights installed. It's a gamer. I will do one. Come here. We got time. And then I'll blow your guys' brain.
배부르게 밥을 먹은 지가 언제더라. 기계 덩어리 팔자가 더 낫네.
제공되는 식사는 모두 정량해요.
그 정도 먹어서는 기운이 안 난단 말이야.
엔케팔린이에요. 로보토미 코퍼레이션에서 추출했던 에너지죠.
이전 엘사 말이군요. 특이점으로 에너지를 생산하는 회사라고 들었어요. 엘사가 몰락한 지금은 자네밖에 남지 않았지만.
맞아요. 그래서 지금은 구하기가 꽤 힘들어요. 하지만 메피스토펠레스는 신체에서 엔케팔린을 강제로 추출할 수 있죠.
Because they had to go somewhere. They're fun. I like them.
네. 엔케팔린은 뇌와 척수신경에서만 추출돼요. 특히나 생명 활동이 있을수록 효율이 좋죠.
Most of them I would not be able to play on stream.
해당 부위만 먹여도 되는 거
And
아니에요?
I'll be honest,
라기엔
I am.
피와 근육도 연료로 쓰일 수 있어요.
I mean,
엔케팔린이
probably
수분과
not. I'll be
추정을 위해서
honest. Scion
필요하다면
tried to get me to play some of them,
나머지 생체
and it
물질은
didn't go too well.
순환할 때 사용되죠.
I don't have a lot of time to play a lot of stuff on my own. Why do you think it's so hard for me to upload content to YouTube, let alone play my own content? I wouldn't know. I don't know weeb shit. I say as I'm playing Korean weeb shit.
뭘요? 파우스트는 고생하지 않는답니다.
고생은 우리가 하고 있지. 이봐, 관리자 양반 또 온다고.
Oh, great. No more fights. We gotta feed the bus. Because the bus is hungry and needs to eat spines.
흥미로운 일이 벌어지면 좋겠어요.
You know he would not help you try to get me to play Clannad. Okay, now technically I've already played what is effectively a visual novel. I did 999 on stream. That was a great time. Go watch those vlogs. They're there. And I played some games that are real story focused, like the 2 sequels to 999. I once co-streamed Ninja with a Phoenix Wright game. I do have Valhalla on the list. That's a visual novel. That's just, I mainly put that there because that game's just a bop. That one's worth it. Valhalla's great. Or, if you want to be politically correct, VA11 Hall A. Fiery funny. Unfortunately, that's one of the, well, not the explicitly no words, but the very frowned upon words on the old Twitch-a-thon, so we gotta slow your roll, but everyone did get psychosis from ZTD. Alright. So, alright, before I end off the stream, here's a theory that I've been cooking up. Pop quiz, lag, because the others might actually know this. Do you remember what the actual numbers of the sinners were? Like, each sinner was introduced, but they had a number. Like, they were sinner number 5, sinner number 8, sinner number 1. Do you at all remember which one is which? Not by heart. Well, let me tell you. Yisong is sinner number 1, Faust 2, Don Quixote 3, Ryoshu 4, Merceau 5, Honglu 6, Heathcliff 7, Ishmael 8, Rodion 9, Sinclair 11, Otis 12, and Gregor 13. If you noticed, I skipped past 10. That is because Dante is sinner number 10. Now, we don't know who Dante is. It's like one of the big mysteries of the game. We can go. The next time Sinclair fucking talks, you can go look to see that he's sinner number 11. Now, we don't know who Dante is. He's clearly someone important. They referred to him being tied to a star, implying to be a star of the city, so he's somewhere high up, and something that very elitely trained agents had to hunt him down to get information, and he had to hide his own head to not allow them to gain that information. A very, very severe action. The question of who is Dante is, like, clearly gonna be an important thing, because, you know, he has amnesia. We can't see his face. But the question then comes, Dante is sinner number 10. Lag, do you know what the Roman numeral version of the number 10 is? And who do we know of that might be under the title of X? This has been my harebrained theory from, like, minute 1 of this game. The moment that I saw that he was sinner number 10, I'm like, sinner number 10. All right, that makes sense. It's just a random in the middle of it. But Gordon Ramsay in this bitch. For people who aren't actually clicking it all together, I'm very much so cooking. This might be a little too spicy because they had to give him a fake name, and Vergilius hates him. Remember, Vergilius hates him because he has done something bad and he wants him to experience pain. He put him into this position so he can experience the excruciating pain of reviving people because of some unknown transgression or reason. Who better to fit under all of these criterias than X, the manager of motherfucking Lobotomy Corporation Ayin? That is my cooking theory. I have been thinking that since minute one. See, you're right. But how did X die? He went into the light. And what happened at the end of Ruina? All of the light got put back. That then raises the question of Carmen, because people are clearly still distorting. That's the whole plot of Distortion Detective. And that's what we gotta figure out. Because the only time... Yeah, so we'll not get there yet. We'll talk about that later. But, like... the only time we had heard from Ayin is at the very end of Ruina, when the light is first starting to be released. That's the only time we've heard of him since the end of Vlobko. And it's to tell Angela, I'm sorry, and we never hear from him again. That implies to me that he might have left. He might have been shunted out into the fucking forest. And what would they be looking for? But the way to make use of light. He's effectively the only guy who invented it, and he has so much knowledge that he had to take his head off to hide that. We don't know what inscribing the aspect means, but he has connection to a star. He's important to the light phenomenon. He's committed a carnal sin that would allow Vergilius to hate him. It would make sense for the Purple Tear to want to manipulate him into this because she's apparently fucking involved with this somehow. I think it's all coming together. That's the theory. That's my sauce. What was the link with the star? We're not sure. He just said that, I forget what the dialogue in like the tutorial when he was talking to like Panther and Lion and whatnot were. They were like, he was like tied to a star or something like that. But like, who is a star of the city but the library? You know what I mean? And debatably the most important star of the city because it released, you know, more light. And that is the same light that Lion, Panther, and Jaguar? I forget what their names are. Lion, Panther, and the third one were using as a weapon, which would explain why they're going after him. It's all coming together. I'm cooking. Is anyone eating? I don't know. Library got banished, but they released more of the light. We actually have confirmed that it's Ayin because if you remember at the end of Lobco, I played the cutscene that was the animated version of day 50 in Lobco. We actually get a voice actor for Ayin. It is the same voice actor at the end of Ruina. The dude saying, I'm sorry, it's the same guy. I'm eating. Oh, I may be cooking, but I'm eating good. Oh yeah, I got ingredients for days. There's more theories that are coming up. And I will just blow the fuck out of people's minds if we get there, but that's my day one theory, and I have not been disproven yet. Day one of Limbus Company. When I started this main fucking story, I'm like, what if he was Ayin? And I'm still riding that fucking train all the way to the goddamn W. And now, if you will excuse me, I need to go... And for people that don't know, the reason why there is such a massive backlog on streams is I have so little free time, and it is genuinely difficult to upload, create a title, description, and make a thumbnail. Like, thumbnails especially are like the hardest part, because I just don't have a whole lot of free time. But I'm going to try to keep this one up to date. That's why I said at the beginning of the stream, this stream is being recorded 11:27. I want it either on YouTube today or tomorrow. I want to try to keep uploading these things. Should I tell him? Should I tell him? Well, yeah, Dealus will get there. We haven't even met Yuri yet. You're spoiling it, bastard. Anyway, you guys want to see my cool teams? Here's my Rupture team. Here's my Bio Dodger team. Here's my B team. Here's my Board team. Here's my Chart team. Here's my Psychic team. Here's